Hi guys. Today, we're going to discuss the increasing trend of unmarried leftover women and how they are constantly confused about their own lives and how they want to live. Single women aged 40 plus are some of the most confused women you will ever meet today. On one hand, they will say they would happily wait till they're 60 until they meet the right person. And on the other hand, they will be crying all over social media saying how they wish they could have the love of a man just like their friends. This is why women who have crossed the age of 40 are just not suitable for men who want peace in their lives, and I would highly suggest you guys to avoid them. Even honorable women are aware of this terrible reality and openly admit that they made the mistake of not finding someone in their 20s and 30s. The remaining women delay having children, like imposing their ideals while spreading the gospel of tolerance and freedom, and feel oppressed simply for being female. They rarely acknowledge the fact that being a woman is far more advantageous than being a man. Modern women did everything they could to capture and have the essence of power they thought would make them happy by working the corporate ladder up until their 40s, but realized a little too late that they had a natural need to nurture families, settle down, have a loving relationship with men, and become healthy and nurturing partners. And now that they've been inundated with feminist doctrine, they can't even confess that they should have taken the conventional route and lived in accordance with their feminine nature. So, things aren't exactly going great for modern women in the world of dating, or for that matter, in life in general. And it's very tempting to simply blame men for all of this pain and misery. But the situation is a little more nuanced than that. More importantly, most individuals are unaware that change never occurs in a vacuum. This implies that the entire ecosystem in the dating world changes when even one variable is altered. However, once you start playing about with all the factors that relate to men and women, things really get interesting and you have no idea what will happen. Modern dating is an absolute mess these days. You can therefore understand how it all began with women simply desiring physical intimate freedom and equality. The age of exploration for women was a brilliant notion, according to progressives and feminists, and it was a method to fight against centuries of patriarchal tyranny. Women are now advising other women to date numerous men at once and never settle, changing the original message. As a result of this, most women start to believe that all men desire from them is raw physical intimacy and nothing else, which may be very demoralizing. Interestingly, feminism has almost caged women and made it easier for men to tell the world how they've been misread and misunderstood. Women are disproportionately represented in undervalued occupations, are familiar with the harsh realities of the job market, and, most importantly, find it dreadful to think of growing old. Even though this last statement is quite telling, the majority of women find it difficult to accept it because of their social conditioning. Women are afraid of getting old. They are afraid of being single. They are afraid of not being loved. Schools, the media, and the entertainment sector actively urge women to put off getting married and starting a family while concurrently encouraging them to pursue other objectives, such as pursuing an education, a career, or even many partners. By the way, the word partners refers to casual flings and one-night stands rather than long-term relationships. Social conditioning is incredibly harmful and potent. Modern women who fall for it will go to any lengths to protect the beliefs they hold dear. In reality, they simply combine it with the information they've received from institutions, important figures, and multinational corporations with little regard for the pleasure of women. Some women like these can even be found on TikTok and Facebook. When they are in their late 20s and have fewer options for partners, you'll find them more frequently. Women, particularly contemporary women who were the most hypergamous women ever, fear single men who are content with their lives. It makes them sick to their stomachs to see a man who is single and yet who is so happy and doing so well isn't asking for attention from women. It threatens their ability to attract men and diminishes their worth. Because that's what society expects, they've exploited males, pursuing them to get their attention and making marriage proposals. According to society, you need to find the ideal girl and have a happy marriage in order to be truly happy. In order to find the actual and ideal man, Women rely on this fantasy and date hundreds of guys in this manner. Because they have consistently disobeyed what society has advised them to do, lone guys are akin to rebels in that system. Many successful and educated guys understand that women exaggerate their feelings. Every successful man who has easy access to women will admit that they analyzed the costs to rewards ratio and discovered it to be negative. In reality, the danger to benefit ratio declines even further when you take into account contemporary problems like harassment legislation, divorce pitfalls, and allegations. In order to pursue a more fulfilling form of happiness, many men who had unpleasant interactions with women simply gave up and started living as bachelors, working out, creating businesses, and traveling. Happiness that a woman is incapable of giving. Men are aware of the nature of women and no longer desire to play that game. They even overcame their innate impulses and stopped attributing their happiness and worth to the women they choose to date. Instead, they began to rely on their life's mission, which is a fatal blow to the woman who relies on these men to approach her in clubs so she may receive free drinks, extravagant dinners, and clothes, and write about it all on social media. The woman no longer has control over men, thus it poses a serious threat. Women would be pursuing men, while men would be too preoccupied with their objectives to give a damn if these men had inspired even more men. Remember that women's attractiveness and appeal are finite, and the instant she reaches her limit, she will leave the dating scene. The value of a man, on the other hand, will increase if he stays unmarried since he has nothing to lose. She will be in a lot of trouble if she doesn't find a boyfriend right away. Women merely want us to fall for the trap and engage in a rigged game of love as our battlefield with them. Women gain power by portraying weakness because it motivates males to step up, get involved, and take care of them. Males will, however, go their own way and look for other reasons for existing in addition to defending women as women assert their power more and more. If women don't need our protection, why are we still around? While women want men to stick by their sides, look after them, and listen to their problems, they also want men to think they are independent of us. The most important realization a man can have is that women are significantly more afraid of single men than men are. The majority of unmarried men are honest. They are single because they lack sufficient value. Either they are unwanted or they haven't worked hard enough to change for the better to earn women's esteem. Men who prefer to act independently tend to stay away from women and refrain from playing the game. And that's what you should do. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.